Ladies and gentlemen, we want you to stand and we want you to make some noise.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go racing here at Knoxville.
Only the best go 3 abreast.
It is showtime at Williams Grove Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here at Eldora Speedway, it's showtime!
You got them 4 abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the world of outlaws.
It's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Set to do battle for 30 laps. The green flag is waving.
It is Wing Nation presented by Dryden, by DRF Racing Oils, and by Hercules Tires. And we are glad you joined us. And boy, I'll tell you what, this one here is just going to be a little bit different because we're the premise of part of this is not good news. We're going to talk to Kendra Jacobs with Knoxville Raceway. But, boy, in the week or 10 days or 9 days it's been since the announcement, they have just rolled up their sleeves and just kept right on digging. They got the Corn Belt Nationals coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
They had 2 great nights of racing. I am probably the last person still mourning that we're not having a Knoxville National. Well, I'm not the last person.
Yeah.
But so we're going to talk to Kendra about the fallout from that, from the Nationals. But we're also going to talk about all the good things that are happening. The 360 Nationals looks like that's going to be a banner event. And we just, oh my gosh.
Yeah, but you know, when the announcement came out, I think, none of us were terribly surprised.
No, not at
but
all.
I honestly felt good about it. I felt like the 60th Knoxville Nationals deserves to be a big show, in my opinion.
Yeah, and not a half grandstand show.
And without Wing Nation there, what would it be?
You can't have one without Wing Nation there.
But I just liked the decision. I thought, well, great, I don't have to miss it now. We'll be there next year if everything clears up in this world. But I also like that they're still doing the 360 Nationals. They still have the Cappy Classic, the Corn Belt Nationals. They're going to do an Outlaw show. So it's not like we're losing a lot of racing. Right. And we're giving the Nationals the respect it deserves, in my opinion.
I like that. I do like that, and I agree with you on that. I agree with you, which kind of takes us to another topic that we this one here just breaks my heart, okay? Our road shows, okay? I am telling you, you don't realize what things mean to you until they go away. Mm-hmm. We sit here in the studio, and we've been Zooming, so we've been on lockdown, so we haven't even been a chance to hang out with each other, okay? And now we're social distancing, but at least in the same building. So the Zoom takes a little energy from you. There's sitting in a quiet office having a conversation is not the same as sitting here in
or
a
with
studio.
your daughter joining.
Well, yes, we had that as well, okay? But here's the reality of it, and we've seen this coming as well. We still potentially can do something at the World Finals, but all of our road shows are effectively gone, okay? The Weicker Memorial is coming up next week, but we are the anti-social distancing. Let's pack as many people as we come in to scream and holler and sing along.
Listen to you karaoke before the show.
We pack as many people, and it just doesn't fit into our society now. With Knoxville getting canceled, that was one we were planning on doing. With Eldora, we planned on doing that. We lost Jackson. The Weicker Memorial is still happening, but
we had some other fun ones planned that didn't get to happen this year.
Exactly, that's right. We had a little secret one, another one that we had planned.
Save that one for next year.
Yeah, we'll save that one for next year too. But so we I thought going this past weekend to Pennsylvania, I think it struck me that being at the track is the energy. And we just are going to miss being at the track and doing these things. And that's totally selfish on us, okay? But we do love it because we love it. We get to see everybody there.
Yeah.
And so we're just gonna pull the plug on it, see what we have for World Finals.
Yeah.
We may be able to do a little bit around the World Finals. We just have to see what the world looks like then. And then we're going to look at the Chili Bowl, and we're going to look at going forward. And, okay, we're just going to move forward with it. But I kind of wanted to get that out there, too. I did get some questions, particularly at Port. Hey, you coming out for the Weicker Memorial? No, we're not going to do that because we are the anti-social distancing element.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just, put your arm around 2 strangers and stand there and sing karaoke and scream and holler at the stage.
The Iowa beer bus the penalty box, you name it.
So Kendra Jacobs is going to join us just a little bit. I want to tell you about our friends at Plan B Sales. They were founded in 2010, started as a Lionel and Chase Authentics apparel distributor, and now Auto World, Greenlight Collectibles, Brand Art, Sam Bass Art, and University of Racing Lions.
They have a huge inventory, and they have partnerships with drivers like Kyle Larson, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Christopher Bell, and many others. Right now, you can use promo code MRN for free shipping on orders over $20.
Yes, indeed. Ohio Speed Week is ongoing as we continue on. It kicked off at Attica Raceway Park, the Ollie's Bargain Outlet All-Star Circuit of Champions. Ohio Speed Week presented by Hercules Tires. Cap Henry and Buddy Kofoid mixing it up on opening night. Flow Racing had the pay-per-view. Blake Anderson had the call, and we have it here as our Dryden Diesel all-death-defying move of the week.
And now for the Dryden death-defying move of the week, where one driver simply amazes us with their on-track moves.
And your leader, Buddy Kofoid. To the back bumper. Here comes Cap Henry to the inside, racing for the lead in turn number 1. Side by side, Cap Henry and Buddy Kofoid for the top spot. Drag race down the backstretch. Kofoid has it by a nose, but Henry has the advantage in turn number 3. Off at turn number 4, Cap Henry to the lead with 5 to go.
That death-defying move was brought to you by Dryden Diesel All Death, the official death of the world of outlaws and wheelmen everywhere. Visit Dryden.com for more information.
Pride. Passion. Performance. We are Team Dryden.
Hey Ashley, what are you up to?
Oh, I just stopped by to grab some sage fruit apples. Now I just have to decide which ones.
You can never go wrong with a Honey Crisp. They're light, crisp, and full of perfectly balanced flavor.
Oh, hey!
You could always go with one of their classics, the Gala or Fuji. They're both sweet and juicy. Grown in the heart of Eastern Washington, Sage Fruit Company works hard on the farm and with their retail partners to provide high-quality apples and pears to consumers all year long.
Well, I couldn't decide which ones. Thanks for the help, guys.
I'll race you to checkout.
It is Wing Nation, presented by Dryden, by DRF Racing Oils, and by Hercules Tires. And let's go via Skype to Kendra Jacobs from out at Knoxville Raceway, who joins us. Hello, Kendra. Welcome into Wing Nation.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Oh, we are loving Skype, okay? Because usually we do these things and we get to talk to Kendra on the phone. Now we get to see the glowing, radiant, pretty face of Kendra Jacobs. Man, we are winning here, Kendra. We're winning this battle.
I don't know if I would say glowing and radiant. It's been more like exhausting and aging in the last week or so, but we're hanging in there.
Let's talk a little bit about that. I want to spin forward and talk about the great things coming up, including this weekend with the Corn Belt Nationals. But the last week or so, and aging and frustrating, Kendra, and some of the outpouring as well. As we're looking at it a week or so later, what's been your take on this after the postponement, if you will, of the 60th annual Knoxville Nationals?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we knew that was not an announcement that anyone was prepared for. I think we knew it was coming, obviously, for a day or two before it came out, and I don't think even we were emotionally prepared for what that would feel like once it was actually out there. So we're still kind of reeling from that. Fans ask questions that even when you think you're prepared for them, there's something that comes up. So we're still learning some things and figuring everything out as everything shifts to the 2021 NOS Energy Drink Knoxville Nationals. So it's an interesting time for all of us. I think I severely underestimated our fans, which I feel awful about. I was expecting a lot of backlash and anger, and they've been wonderful. And the support has been overwhelming. So that was a huge relief for us. We know it's not what anyone wanted to hear. We felt terrible for disappointing so many people, but the support and understanding has been a very pleasant surprise.
Kendra, when you talked about the emotions once you put out the announcement, and you said you weren't really prepared for it, you're saying that that the fans have been more supportive than expected. But from your point of view, I know in past experiences when things have happened in life, it doesn't seem real until you see it in print. Is that what you're talking about? Like, what were those emotions you were just starting to describe?
Yeah, I mean, I had the release in front of me. We knew what was getting ready to be put out to everyone, and still with 30 minutes to go before hitting send, my heart was just pounding like crazy because it starts to hit you that this is real, that the Nationals really aren't going to happen. And I don't think any of us foresaw that coming back in March and April and May when we were trying to put all these proposals together. So in that instant, it became very real. I have a folder of like a digital folder of everything we do for nationals that is extremely long, and having to kind of move all of that and put everything we've worked on hold. That was a painful moment. And it took me about 5 or 6 hours to create the 2021 Nationals folder. So that gave me something to start looking forward to and working on. And I'm kind of trying to figure out what to do with my hours in the day now, because so much of it was NOS Energy Drink and Casey's and Nationals focused. And now I have free time in July, which is something I haven't had in years. So it's a weird feeling, to say the least.
I can imagine. Kendra, you shared something with me, and I'll share. Those of you not familiar, Kendra was my original co-host on the show. It was Kendra and I that started this show, and we're buds. We're friends. We text, we chat all the time. Kendra, you shared with me the day after. There is a community. We talk about race fans, we talk about drivers, we talk about teams. The Knoxville business community, the local chamber of commerce, the day after this announcement, share the gesture that they did for you guys working there at the racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, that was almost tear-inducing. Hannah Vanderveer, the director of the chamber, sent me a text on Tuesday night. So it was roughly 3 or 4 hours after the announcement. And she said, hey, we all discussed everything here, and the Chamber of Commerce would really like to buy lunch for everybody in the ticket office at Knoxville tomorrow. We know you guys are going through a lot just like we are, and we are sure your phones are ringing off the hook. So this is a small gesture from all the businesses in town to support you guys right now. And, for us, we were very concerned about the businesses and how this affects them and their, economic line. There's so much of what they make is done during Nationals time, and we just took that away from them. So we were very concerned about them, and it was heartwarming to know at that same moment they were very concerned about us. And I think that just shows so much of what the Knoxville community is about, and how that race is so much more than a race every year. It really is the week that makes this town tick, and everybody in this community feels that buzz when that week comes, and it will definitely be missed in 2020.
For sure. When you talk about a sense of community, you mentioned that a lot of the fan response was actually positive and people understood. And I follow you on social media. I follow Knoxville. I follow, obviously anything to do with the Knoxville Nationals. And any response I saw, there were some that said they were sad and they were mourning it and this year couldn't get any worse. But I didn't personally see any that were like angry or blamed anyone. And I thought the same thing, like what a cool racing community that we do have. Like everyone gets it. So unfortunately, it was such it's a sad moment, but like you said, there's some positives that we're seeing that are come out of this whole crazy year.
Yeah, I think the angry responses we got were more angry about the virus itself, which is completely understandable. And there's just a lot of discord in our nation in general right now. So I think people are just angry, and sometimes that comes out and it's directed at the wrong people. So we braced ourselves for that, and most of those comments we just ignore because there's no sense in getting involved in that argument. But the people who have been supportive, we've been so grateful and so thankful. And I know I still have emails and texts I need to respond to. And, the thought that people think about us and how it's affecting us. And one of the best statements came from some of our drivers. Jamie Ball said, if you think that anyone wanted this race to happen more so than the people who had to make this call, you're crazy. And and he's right. We wanted this race to happen. There was none of us that were happy about this. So it's great when we know that people understand who we are as people and not just as a business. And, first and foremost, we're race fans like them. And I want that week too. It's a crazy week. That's my favorite week of the year. And we're glad the World of Outlaws are going to be here. We're glad the Brownells Capitani Classic presented by Great Southern is still going to happen. That's going to be a big part of relief for us that week when we're missing the Nationals, but happy to know that we'll be back together in 2021, and hopefully it'll be bigger and better than ever.
Indeed. Yes, it will. And let's do that. Let's start to look a little bit forward this year. One of the things that I respect so much is the resiliency that you and everyone at Knoxville have, because in the midst of all of this, you had races on Friday and Saturday night. You have the Corn Belt Nationals coming up, and I see earlier this week Brant has signed up and re-signed, and business continues on. And there's got to be a degree of that that's probably therapeutic to keep it going. But Kendra, there's still a lot on the docket this year that you can work on and put your arms around and salvage whatever we can out of this stupid 2020 that we're living through.
Yeah. I mean, we're very lucky that our other big events have not been affected to this point by COVID and state and government restrictions. I mean, we're still going to have social distance seating. There's still going to be some changes fans will see when they come here. But we do have the second annual Brant Professional Agriculture Corn Belt Nationals this weekend. You know, everybody in NASCAR is familiar with Brant as a sponsor of Justin Allgaier for so long. And now they're getting used to seeing them in the dirt world too, which is so great for us to have them on board. And they're really enjoying the grassroots aspect. This race is so much fun. It's our second annual Corn Belt Nationals, but our third consecutive year having the non-wing sprint cars here. And it is one of the most exciting races of the year. I know some fans had to get adjusted to not having wings. I think that happened very quickly. We had a great crowd last year. We're hoping that grows again in year two here. And we see another excellent race. Those cars are just so insane. And on a big half-mile track, it's pretty impressive to watch them be sideways. It feels like throughout the entire lap. So that one's a lot of fun. Looking forward to it this weekend. The 360 Nationals are still happening in August. So August 6th through 8th, the My Place Hotels 360 Nationals presented by Great Southern. The Capitani Classic is now a World of Outlaws race, but that's back. And, you know, as far as everything is planned right now, in September, we'll still have the Lucas Oil Late Model Knoxville Nationals. So I never, ever would have thought in a million years that the one event that wouldn't happen would be the NOS Energy Drink Knoxville Nationals. But here we are. Hopefully we can make the rest of the season feel as normal as possible.
Well, like I said in the opening of the show, Kendra, there's part of me that feels like the 60th Annual Knoxville Nationals is going to get the credit it deserves. It's going to get the attendance it deserves. And selfishly, we get to go as part of it. But on another note, I don't know how you think you have 5 or 6 hours off. After all the events you just listed, how do you have free time? And how were you planning the Nationals? Like, oh, my goodness, you are still crazy busy.
Yeah, I mean, it's really busy. It's a good busy. It's still juggling a bunch of events at the same time, which we get used to doing. But on normal years, we're also planning, you know, concerts and the Wing Nation stage and booking guests and the autograph sessions and everything we do in town and everything with the Hall of Fame. And all of that's kind of not happening. And even for our other events, a lot of the off-track activities that we normally do just can't happen because of social distancing restrictions and further issues with COVID, unfortunately. So everything's going to be a little bit, I guess, tamer is the word. It's going to be a little bit quieter, but I am sure that we can still make our own fun and still celebrate just being able to get together during these times. And, you know, I'm already booking bands for next year. I'm already moving some of the traditional things we do with the champion Dave Gravel, and we're switching that stuff to 2021. So there's still work to be done. Some of it I'm creating and trying to come up with new things now that I get a second shot at the 60th. So hopefully when we announce some of this stuff for the 2021 event, it will make fans excited and we'll have a full house in 2021.
I didn't think about that turkey, David Gravel. He gets to be the champion for 2 years.
Yes.
Oh, man, that guy, he's got all the luck. He's got all the luck going for him. Kendra, one of the other roles you have is sister to Lee Jacobs. How are you doing all of this in the middle of Ohio Speed Week as well, following along with your brother racing over there?
It's been painful not to be there. All of my family was at the races, both nights in Fremont. And of course, Wayne County Speedway is our, you know, quote unquote home track. My great grandpa Pete built that track. So that one is meaningful to our family in many ways. But I've tried logging on to Flow every night and watching that, getting some sense of that big sister role. I get really nervous when Lee races, which is crazy. I never, ever did with Dad. But that's all I knew. My dad was a race car driver. With Lee, I still he's my little kid brother. So I get really nervous when he races. I was at a friend's house for a little get together Sunday night from Fremont when Lee started on the front row. And I kind of had to excuse myself a little bit and go somewhere else as I was yelling at him of what line to run and what to do each lap. So I'm sure he couldn't hear me, obviously, from Iowa, but I was pushing for him and glad to see him get that third place finish. And I know before Wayne County last night, he was still top 10 in Speed Week points. I'm not sure where he is now, but I'll be tuning in all week and trying to follow along with how he's doing. And of course, I have daily phone calls with Dad, and he and I break down all the races. So that's a tradition that hasn't ended. Clear back when I was living in Charlotte, he would call me after races and we would break it down. So glad that continues. It's weird not to be there. My nephew was on Flow last night and proudly announced that I was his favorite aunt. I'm sure that didn't make his 3 other aunts very happy, but he must be gunning for some kind of gift this year for his birthday. So I got to figure out what he wants. But it was a really great moment.
Oh, gosh, that is awesome. That is fantastic. Final question for you, Kendra. On your social media, you were looking for a beach to go to. How is that? Yeah, Erin was asking that as well. Have we found a beach and carved out a little time to get a little vacation in?
I have officially set the date that I'm going somewhere. I know starting September 2nd, I am off the grid. I don't know exactly where I'm going yet. Kind of watching the COVID situation, unfortunately, and keeping things kind of fluid. But starting September 2nd, I will have disappeared from the planet for quite a while.
Well, I'm just looking at my calendar. I think I might have a little downtime around September 2nd there, Kendra. I'm quiet. I don't eat much and I don't drink much. So
quiet, yeah.
Don't drink and eat much. Quiet. 3 things no one has ever said about Postman.
Kendra, I'm telling you.
Looking forward to that.
Yes.
More alone time just in a tropical setting, hopefully.
There you go. Absolutely.
You've earned it. You have earned it.
I think I worked on an invitation, and I think I got uninvited. Another good-looking woman rejecting me. How about that? At least I'm used to it. There you go. So that is.
Even though you showed up, I would welcome you with open arms.
I know. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate our friendship and just love what you're doing out there in Knoxville, Kendra. We wish you the best with the Corn Belt Nationals this weekend and on throughout the other events. And thanks for sharing your time and your passion with us here on Wing Nation as we continue to go through the 2020 process.
Thank you, guys. And it's going to mean a lot that when we get ready for that big August event again, you guys will be here to share it with us.
We cannot wait either. Thank you, Kendra.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
How about that, Kendra Jacobs? Man, I'll tell you what. That's hardcore racer.
Oh yeah.
Oh, in a bundle of just a bundle
passion
of passion and greatness. And gosh, I'll tell you what. She just. I kind of. We go back, Kendra and I go back years and years and years. When she first moved to North Carolina, we worked together on the Texaco Haviland account, Ricky Rudd's PR. And so we've been buds. And in 2010, we did a show before Wing Nation celebrating the 50th annual Knoxville Nationals. We had a World of Outlaw report that I was just doing here. And they said, who would you want to co-host it? I said, Kendra is who I want. And in 2011, we launched Wing Nation. And then she's graduated. She's promoted up to Knoxville Raceway. And but just what I mean, in those early years of Wing Nation, I mean, I was just the NASCAR radio guy. She carried us on her shoulders.
Yeah.
Oh, Kendra's involved? Oh, okay, come on in. Oh, you're the guy that works with Kendra. Oh, come on in. I just love that girl to death and her passion and what she's done. And the impact she has had on the sprint car world is absolutely amazing.
It really is.
In every role she's had. So
yeah, and if you meet her parents and you meet her family, you see where it comes from. Like I knew Kenny long before I had met Kendra, and I just adore the whole family.
Oh, she gets it honest.
Yeah,
she does. They are great people. That is for sure. Yes, indeed. Hey, the Ford F-150 is America's best-selling full-size pickup for good reason. It delivers an unsurpassed combination of power, capability, and efficiency. There's not a sprint car out there that it can't push, tow, pull, or haul.
The F-150 offers best-in-class payload and up to 13,200 pounds of available towing thanks to its most advanced powertrain lineup ever, including a 3.0-liter Power Stroke turbo diesel V6. Ford F-150, built Ford tough.
And we will be back with more Wing Nation in just a moment.
Pride. Passion. Performance. We are Team Dryden.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers, whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, and we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
Wing
Power
Nation
isn't
rolling along
born.
here, presented by
It's
Dryden, by DRF Racing Oils, and by Hercules Tires. You know, we're in this weird world. And I was just thinking about our friends out west, out in California. And we know the California scene is different than any other scene in the world and in the country. And it's compounded in the sprint car world by the bulk of these racetracks are on county fairgrounds.
Yep.
Which makes it even more challenging to see. King of the West Series, we should be midway through their season, okay? Canceled or postponed. Kern County, Stockton, Silver Dollar, Tulare, 2 at Petaluma, Placerville, Ocean Speedway, and it was just announced, I believe, earlier this week that Calistoga.
That one hurts.
That one hurts, yeah.
Yeah.
That one hurts as well. There's no Louis Vermeil Classic this year. And in California Sprint Car World, that's the Knoxville Nationals to California Sprint Car Racing, non-wing and wing cars. They did get one race in. Spencer Baston won at Keller Auto Speedway. And our fingers are crossed, coming up on July 18th, the 10th annual Howard Kading Classic at Ocean Speedway. Now, if you're going to come back with one, getting the Kading family involved with some food and some beverages is a good way to come back.
Yeah.
But man, our California family, we've spent a lot of time this year talking about different areas get up and running, and I know that there's some 360 racing happening out there.
Yeah.
We get that, and we respect that and appreciate that. But man, we're just with you, our California friends. Gosh, we just want to see King of the West Series racing. You know, we want to see cowboy up, bull ring, elbows up, cars bouncing around racing. And yeah, Placerville's ran a little bit, and there's some tracks have ran, but man, I'll tell you what, that's just all part of this 2020 thing. And so fingers crossed for that Kading Classic. Thus far, per the website, we're still moving forward in that direction. But the problem of it is the world's moving in other directions, too. So we'll have to see. All-Stars continuing on with the Cometic Gasket Ohio Speed Week presented by Hercules Tires. Tonight, Muskegon County. Friday night, the Dean Niddle Memorial at Portsmouth. 15,544 to win. I went to the Dean Niddle Memorial last year. It was a 2-day show, 2 days or 3 days at Attica, or at Atomic. And they moved it to Portsmouth, but with the scheduling, it's become a one-day part of Speed Week show. But I'm telling you, Jeff Niddle, oh my gosh, the work he does on this. I mean, he will be up. They'll run this race on Friday night, okay?
Yep.
At 6 a.m. Saturday morning, he will be working on next year's edition to make it bigger. I'm telling you, that guy, you want to talk about passion for racing, Jeff Niddle has it. Fun weekend at Sharon Speedway, the Lou Blaney Memorial on Saturday night, and the Justin Snyder Salute to the Troops. Both those races paying $6,000 to win. So that's fun stuff. World of Outlaws, they have 34 Raceway on Friday. They have Wilmot on Saturday. They have the Terre-Haute Action Track on Sunday. And if you follow Brad Doty on Twitter, you've been following the weather forecast because we're getting close to the Ohio Logistics Brad Doty Classic, which is coming up on Tuesday. So that is good stuff. The Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour, we're back racing. Okay, we're racing.
Yes.
This week, Riverside International Speedway. They're doing it with the Mid-South region. Point standings, Sam Haferteep Jr. We thought it was a Sam Haferteep Jr. less year.
Yeah.
And it still may be. Who knows? Stay tuned. Sam is the leader. Roger Crockett. Jordan Mallett putting together a great year. Matt Covington and Harley White. And Racing Boys will have it all Saturday night from West Memphis, Arkansas. Regional racing. The Sooner region is in Sapulpa, Oklahoma. Woohoo! Sapulpa, Creek County Speedway. Sooner Region goes Saturday night at 81 Speedway in Park City, Kansas, and the Warrior Region is at Lake Ozark Speedway in Eldon, Missouri. Look at ASCSRacing.com. That's www.ASCSRacing.com. They're getting ready to head west.
Yes.
I may try to stow away in a trailer to go out there to the West Coast. I love that trip. Huh, you kidding me? That is going to be spectacular, spectacular. Wing Nation gear is available at www.wingnation.com. Follow along with us on our social media channels. The group, the Wing Nation group, we have done a lot over there. Oh, my gosh, that thing has just exploded. And so that has been a lot of fun on Facebook, the Wing Nation group, our pages, our YouTube page, and our Twitter page. Great, great stuff. Hey, by the way, coming up Saturday, it is Wing Nation presented by Sage Fruit on MAV TV, all right? And we have T-Mac.
Oh, boy.
Batten down the hatches. Terry McCarl joins us. So, hey, that is Saturday morning on MAV TV. Thanks for joining us here this week.
This has been the Wing Nation Podcast. Find Wing Nation on wingnation.com, Facebook, YouTube, or your favorite podcast provider. The Wing Nation Podcast is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.